Hello and welcome to this Seada training webinar. This webinar will focus on our G series range of video wall controllers. The webinar will be broken down into these sections. We will give you an insight into the product key features, as well as show you various examples relating to the product. Here you will see images of both the units. This is just to give you an idea of what the products look like. You will see the G44 and G88. The product name corresponds with the number of inputs and outputs available. The G44 comes in DVI and HDMI models, whereas the G88 is only HDMI. You can see by the images that the unit has connection features on the back, including audio connections, and the front has a button panel for control. Here you will find some of the G series key features. As you know, the G series is divided into three models: the G44 DVI and HDMI, and then the G88 HDMI. So as you can see, obviously the G44 is 4 inputs, 4 outputs, whether that be DVI or HDMI. The G44 HDMI supports 4K 60, 444, whereas the DVI does not. They support a picture-in-picture effect, and they are both fanless designs as well. The G44 DVI does support resolutions of up to 1080p Full HD. And also, as I'll mention a bit later in the presentation, the G44 HDMI does support CEC management. The G88, very similar to the G44, just obviously with the added input and output connections. Obviously still supporting the 4K 60 as video wall function as well. It also supporting seamless switching and supports presentation switching capabilities as well. The G44 HDMI and G88 both also support rotation of 180 degrees. In this slide you will see a few different examples showing a G series unit in use. As you can see, it can output multiple sources at a time, stretching them over several screens or displaying them onto just one. The unit offers a picture-in-picture effect, as you can see here, and it is a very simple process in order to change what input you show onto what output. Okay, now we will show you a live demonstration with a Seada technician. In this section you will be able to follow a capture of both the software and a real-time video wall. This will give you a more comprehensive look at the G series and hopefully provide you with more detail regarding the process of creating a video wall. My colleague will be using a G44 for this presentation.
Hello everybody, let's go through G series software presentation, live demo. So today I have a G44 and video wall 2x2 supported by this video wall controller. So in order to connect, obviously you have to be within the same network segment of the unit if you are connecting via network J45. If you are connecting via CR port, make sure that this box is ticked and then select the port number from the drop down list. But in my case I'm connecting through the network, so that's why this one is ticked. That's the IP address of the device. So in order to connect, simply press connect. Wait for the device to complete all the processes and you should be ready to rock and roll. You're gonna be in the matrix switch tab. That's gonna be the first one, in which one you can control the matrix aspect of the controller. So as you can see, you have like two windows, one to control video, another one to audio. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna just explain the video one because pretty much audio is exactly the same. Cool. So in order to assign input to the output, what you have to do, you just have to simply move the grid, and then as you can see, the input display on a video wall is changing. Cool. In order to assign all one input to all outputs, the easiest way is pretty much use the option here, all set, drop down list, and then select the input, and it's gonna assign all to all output same input. What else you can do here? You can just simply save and recall layouts. So for example, if you like to save this layout as a mode 1, you have like a drop down list here and then select one, save as mode 1, and then for example this one, let's just save as mode 2, and then in order to recall just select the correct mode from the drop down list. It's easiest, pretty much straightforward. If you have to customize, like for example change the assign the name to the input, you can do it. Simply just click it and then type in whatever you would like to do it here, like a DVD, etc. Let's just leave it as input 1. It's gonna be easier for us later. Cool, and pretty much it's the same with the audio. In order to control the audio, you just move the grids across. And then let's just move to the advanced switch. In advanced switch, what you're gonna do, you're gonna loop your inputs on your output. So what you have to do, you have to assign some inputs to the output. So let's say to the output 1 and 2, I wanna just assign just 2 inputs. So let me just mark it. And then using the arrow here, just move them across. Cool. And then to output 3 and 4, I would like to just assign all inputs. So I will just select all of them and using the arrow, move them across. And then on the right hand side, you have some options. So first one is pretty much to assign the time for how long you would like each input to stay on. The time is in milliseconds, so bear that in mind. I'll leave it as a 2000 so you can see loop going pretty quickly. Then you have some options here. Send all outputs combined. That is pretty much self-explanatory. If this one is ticked, all outputs are gonna be send at the same time, so it's gonna be start looping at the same time. Then another one is when other finished, start the next loop. Let's just tick it so you can see. So what it's gonna do, as you can see on output 1 and 2, I have just 2 inputs assigned, and on output 3 and 4, I have 4 inputs. So what's gonna happen, output 1 and 2, so top 2 screens, and they're gonna stop on input 2, and they're gonna wait when screen output 3 and 4 are gonna finish the loop, so it's gonna go through the more input signal. Stop CMD after one loop, that's pretty much self-explanatory. So if this one is ticked, it's gonna do like a 1 cycle and then it's gonna stop. And select all outputs, that's the easiest way and the quickest way to tick all outputs, which one you would like to. And you're gonna loop all of them at the same time. And then to start, click start. So first, now the top 2 is gonna stay on the output input 2, wait for the bottom to finish their cycle, and they're gonna start over again. That's pretty much it here. So let's just stop the loop. And let's just move to the signal setting. In a signal setting, what you can do here, you can, on the input side, you can read the resolution of your input signals. And on the output side, what you can do, you can you can select the resolution. You can go higher or you can go lower. So for example, if you have like a HD 1080p signal, but your screen is supporting 4K, you can simply boost it up. Cool. Let's just move to the PQ and position. In here, what you can do, you can just on the output side, you can check and correct if you have to correct the brightness, contrast, saturation, and sharpness. So if you have some discrepancies between the screens, then you can simply make them the same. Just simply move the slider. So for example, from the drop down list, you just select the output. Let's just do the output 1. which one is top left corner of your video wall. If I move it to the left, it's gonna be extremely dark, and then it's gonna be bright. Cool, let's just reset and read it again. Then the next one is the video wall tab. So in a video wall tab, what you're gonna do, you're gonna you can merge the screens. So I have 2x2 video wall. I can just simply mark it, drag it, right click, and then you choose the option screen splicing, so they're gonna be spliced together. And as you can see now, you have like a one input across all of them, all of the outputs, whole video wall. On the left hand side you have like a bezel setting, so if you need to compensate the bezel, you can do it here. Just simply type in the value. If you right click on a video wall, what you can do, you can select the input. So if you want to change the input, you can select the input. And you can as well do like a picture-in-picture effect. So for example, if I want to mark screen 2 and you have an option screen 2 cancel splicing, so if I go this one, then as you can see, it's been like taken out from the video, and I can select different input on it. And you're gonna have like a picture-in-picture effect. Cool. Let's just bring it back to the video. Let's just assign the input what to it, and what else you can do here, you can save layout and recall layout as well. So if I would like to save this one as layout 1, you have a drop down list 1, save it, and then for example I would like another one with input 2 to be saved as layout 2. That's done, and then I will just load the layouts. I'll load layout 1, sorry, and then load layout 2. Cool. Another amazing feature here is you can rotate the screen. So with right click, you have to, at the moment, because it's the screens are merged together, the 180 degree it's off, so you cannot do it. Just simply cancel splicing and then select the screen you would like to rotate. So if you rotate this one, and let's say this one, as you can see now, they're gonna be like upside down, and obviously you can splice them. So what it means that you can make it like a big video walls just using the 2x2 video wall, for example, just using the common TV instead of AV screens. Let's just put them back. So in order to put them back, just simply choose the off option. Another feature just available just only for the G44 HDMI is the CC control. Pretty much if your screens or your input sources, video sources, they have a CC feature, then you can control certain aspect of like an input. You can power it on and off, and with output you can put the volume, increase the volume, decrease, same power on and off. Just bear in mind that different manufacturer they have a different name for the CC feature. Just simply check the manual datasheet. And the last option, the last tab, is the network settings. So if you go in there and search your device, because I'm connected via the RG45, I'm gonna choose this option. If you are connected via serial port, you have to find via UART. Select the device, and then what you can do, you can just give it a name, change the IP address if you have to do it. And you can as well like open website GUI, and over there what you're gonna have like a simplified matrix switch tab. Cool, pretty much that's it from me. Thank you very much, and see you soon.